This question belongs to Computer Organization subject and was asked in GATE 1989. So the question states match the pair in the following question. So it's match the following. Here we have two lists, list 1 and list 2. List 1 states all the addressing mode, base addressing mode, index addressing mode, stack addressing mode and implied addressing mode. And we need to match it to the following things: re-entenancy, accumulator, array and position independency. Let us see all the addressing modes one by one. We have base addressing mode. So what in base addressing mode does is that in base addressing mode we have a base register, and we calculate the effective address by combining the value of base register and the address field. So here the instruction will be something like this. We will have an opcode and we will have an address field. So effective address is calculated by combining the value of base register and this address field. We will get the effective address in the memory where our opcode is present, operand is present. Now so it is used for inter-segment transfer. Like suppose now we want to map to another location due to position independency. Then we can change the value of the base register and we can get the new effective address. Thus, A is mapped to as base addressing mode is used for position independency or inter-segment transfer. Now let us see indexed addressing mode. So what happens in indexed addressing mode is, in index addressing mode we will have our opcode followed by a value like R1. Let me give you an example. We will have something like add register R1 with R2. So what is basically happening is, here the effective address is basically is in a register, and register is given in instruction. So here effective address is in the register R2. So we have a register R2 which have our effective address, and this register is given in instruction. R2 is present in the instruction. So here what we will do? We will do R1 is going to store the value of R1 plus the value which is at memory location R2. So we will first go to this address location R2. We will check the effective address. Then we will go to the RAM at this effective address and we will get our operand. And then we will add this to R2. And then after doing this, we will do R2 plus plus, which means R2 will have effective address plus plus. It will point to the next location and then again to the next location, again to the next location. So where it can be useful, we know that in an array we have sequential access. So we need to access next item. Like in loops, you may need to access next item. So it is used in the arrays for indexing. Thus, index addressing mode can be mapped to option R. Now, let us see the third addressing mode, which is stack addressing mode. So what happens in stack addressing mode is that in stack addressing mode, we will just have our operation that we need to perform. Let us suppose we will have in stack addressing mode, we will just have the add operation. Here we will be having a stack, and stack will be having the contents. Let us suppose 10, 20, 30. So it's a zero address instruction. We just give the opcode, no operand is given. So add means we will go to the stack, pop the first two items 20 and 30, add them. So 20 plus 30 equals to 50, and then we will push 50 over here, which means we will perform the operation on the stack. And why is it useful? Like let us suppose it is used for re-entenancy, which means again if we run the same program for instance 2, then the address will be different. The operations will be performed at different address. A stack will have this, may have the same content, but those address will be different. Thus, it is mapped to re-entenancy, which means at each iteration the address would be different. Now, let us see the next addressing mode, which is implied addressing mode. So, implied addressing mode is basically used for zero address instructions. Let me show you implied addressing mode. So an example of implied addressing mode is, we can give an example like CLC, which means clear the carry flag. We can give an example like INCA, which means increment the accumulator. So all these are zero address instructions. We do not give any address. And here basically in most of the time the operation is performed on the accumulator as no address is given, so by default we assume it to be accumulator. So INC means increment accumulator value. So as it is zero address instruction, by default we assume accumulator, thus implied addressing mode is mapped to accumulator. Thus the options mapping is S, R, P and Q.